Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and all between the binary. This is Get Informed with Wajeeh. I'm Wajeeh Lion. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have a special one for you today. What's behind the American Israeli military integration? Who's benefiting? And is your sovereignty being undermined? Why is it happening behind closed doors? And why did it take so much investigation and so much outcry in order for us to know anything about it? Why is the big media not talking anything about the US Israeli military merger? What does 224 mean actually for the American people? How much more will the US have to give up in order to appease certain group without the knowledge of the rest of us? Important questions, questions that need to be answered. And sadly, we have no one from the government who would give us clear answers. Whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, at this point, it seems like they're all working together and undermining our sovereignty. The United States recently has been working on passing a bill through the House integrating the U.S. military and the Israeli military into one faction, specifically when it comes to advanced research and military production and AI, quantum AI integration into U.S. military, specifically when it comes to uh, target attacks and them like making decisions on which targets to hit and when and where and with what tools. Very, very scary things happening. We are inching towards a society that is, I would call it a police society where we are monitored and policed over every single small and big detail that we have in our lives. Peloton has already, not Peloton, Palantir has already figured out their own system and software that has been collecting and following all of your data, medical, uh, public, social media, your criminal record, all into one platform where they can give that platform to your government, which within monitors your view, eliminating any privacy that we have. Some call that a way for security, others call it erosion of privacy. And the sad truth is, nothing is happening to limit any type of these expansions. I was largely unaware of 224 until you guys reached out to me yesterday and said, Wajeeh, have you heard? And I'm like, have I heard what? But the Israeli military and the American military working hard to integrate each other. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. This is some big stuff there. What can I tell you though? The I have posted the live stream on the thread as a thread in my channel's podcast chat. If you want to ask your questions, go ahead and go there. Do me a huge favor so I don't miss your question. Click on my thread that has the link to this live stream and ask your questions over there. This way, I can make sure that I don't miss your questions and I can take a look at it. We have an operational exhaustion, a transition from a proxy engagement to a high intensity conventional warfare in the 2025-2026 that started in the 2025 12 days war. And then the US joined the Operation Epic Fury in 2026. In the 38-day operation, we have conducted more than 10,200 airstrikes on Iran. So far, our direct cost with just this war has been $29 billion, according to the Pentagon. And in my own opinion, we spend at least $1 billion a day on this war, making us, in my calculation, closer to $90 billion. That's just my estimation. The comprehensive cost likely exceeds $32 billion, and the Pentagon prepared a supplementary request. Now, this is where you pay attention. How much is the Pentagon requesting? Okay, this is what indicates to me the actual price of the war. The Pentagon supplemental request between 80 to $100 billion. That's why I think the cost of this war is closer to $90 billion, closer to $100 billion. This combat operation resulted in a loss or severe damages of at least 42 United States military aircraft, 42 MQ-9 Reapers, and F-15E Strike Eagle, two MC-130J Commandos, and an A-10, which is I think is also known as the AWAC, and a KC-135. We've had tremendous, damages because of this war. The organic recovery for the minimum of the 3 years to restore critical weapons inventory regarding the United States depletion. We have used so much weapons, we need to take 3 years of making them back. Not 6 months, not 1 year, not 2 years, 3 years. What does Section 224 of the FY 2027 NDAA mandates? The permanent integration of American and Israeli military industrial bases. The provision legally shifts the bilateral relationship away from visible foreign military financing, bypassing Department of State oversight and standard foreign military sales, which has to go through the Congress. So, what it's basically doing is finding a loophole to avoid your debate, avoid Congress oversight, and make sure that all of the shady deals are happening behind closed doors and we don't know anything about it. And Congress would have the right or the ability to check on it. Does that make sense to you? You signing off your most important security assets to a foreign government. And in addition to that, you're forcing your own government not to have any checks and balances over it. Since when? If anything happens to me, guys, you know, because I talked about this, huh? Oversight evasion. This prevention legally shifts the bilateral relationship away from visible foreign military financing. Hey, Alexis the A3, thank you so much for correcting me. I really appreciate you. I forget sometimes I'm thinking about so much things I forget about them. A designated Department of Defense executive agenda is granted sweeping authority to authorize bilateral defense research across agencies such as DARPA and the Missile Defense Agency and the United States Space Command. All of these agencies would be integrated with the Israeli government. So the Israeli government that had no access to all of these intelligence, they would now have access to it. The algorithmic fusion. The legislation enforces enormous type of data fusion and network integration of artificial quantum intelligence and quantum computing, autonomous drone swarms, and cyber operations, dissolving the sovereign distinction between the two military. What does that mean? The last sentence is the most important one. What does it say? It said dissolving the sovereign distinction between two military. A sovereign distinction between two military is when the United States makes a decision on its own behalf, whether they want to attack another country or not. Ending that basically removes that sovereign decision making from the United States and makes it that you like whether United States or Israel is the same thing. The financial support to Israel is restricted from foreign aid into direct Department of Defense procurement, categorized as a R&D joint investment or a bilateral capacity building instead of we are aiding Israel this amount of money. This would basically remove that whole thing from the equation. So you wouldn't have accountability or actual numbers on how much money we're sending to Israel or aiding to Israel. That would essentially delete that or end that from your equation, make it very hard for you to find out how much money we are giving to Israel. This would basically erode the whole thing for you. Perfect idea. Amazing. It's just amazing. Your taxpayer money paying for it. Shield funding from. Yep, like what I said. So this would make it very hard for you as a country that has a lot of checks and balances. Hey, Malcolm, you want to join us? I just sent you a DoD moving expenditure to domestic DoD coded. Ahlan, ahlan.
I'll join you, but I'm gonna go off camera because I'm gonna be driving, and we're gonna talk about the latest news. I'm sure you've reported that the peace talks have fallen apart. Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, the peace talks have
You heard?
fallen apart.
Yep. So let's talk about it. I'll be on audio.
Let's see here. Hezbollah just launched a rocket barrage at Sharon and northern. Israel has evacuated. The IDF has issued an evacuation order to the resident of Beirut. Where do they want the residents of Beirut to go to?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, but I just got breaking news from Mario Nawafal. I'm going on his show in about 35 minutes. He has a lot of people in the Pakistani camp and the Emirati camp. So he's usually about a half hour in advance. So they just called me and said that the peace talks have collapsed. Iran is withdrawing from the peace negotiations.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I told you that their patience is growing thin, which makes sense. Their patience has been growing thin with all of these attacks. Why would they stay in the peace talk? 38
Yeah.
minutes ago,
Another
the
thing is,
president has gotten U.S. to a point that no one has gotten to in the last 47 years.
yeah, a total collapse of the talks, right? No one's gotten us to that before. Complete collapse in the entire structure, and nature of what should have been the end of a war. So now we're going to be at what? Are we in a state of cease and fire or fire and pause? I don't know what this limbo is called.
I found the post that Mario posted. It says Iran just suspended all negotiations because of Israel breaches of Lebanese ceasefire. Now is the perfect test. Exactly, that's what Iran. That's what Mario is saying on the post. I'm just reading it.
Yeah, yeah. Go
Now
ahead.
is the
Really good.
now is the perfect test to see who calls the shot, Netanyahu or Trump. Let's see what happens next. continued Israeli breaches or Trump rigging NBB?
Wow. No,
I
we
don't
shall
know
see.
if it's just Lebanon. Iran just got hit twice,
Right.
and the
I'm
last.
dead certain that that's a big part of it. They can tolerate the tit for tat shooting in the Strait of Hormuz, but to fly into Tehran and bomb downtown Tehran, and then at the same time fly into Beirut and essentially declare all of everything south of Beirut a free fire zone. Yeah, they're going to tie this pretty together.
I don't know what is gonna happen next, but what is going to happen is the oil prices must be shooting up at this point. Hold on. The WTI is up $6.48, making it at $93.84. The Brent
Wow.
crude is up. Yep, Brent crude is up $6. Merban is $6.32. Everything is up right now. Everything is up.
I can almost hear those oil traders going, man, this is going to be a great day. We're at 87 and we're going to be doing futures. This war is what the hell? And then they start screaming at the screens. Everybody
You
starts
know what?
keyboards.
Oman oil is down $15.
$15. Yep. Well, I suspect it'll be back over 100 today. And here's the beautiful thing, Watch. They do this about an hour after Trump announces. Remember, he put out his tweet of the morning that we're close to a deal and this is getting done. And the Iranians like, fuck it, we're out. We're not even in the game. This is too
That's
much.
crazy. No, no, no. You
No, no,
gotta
no.
see
You
this.
gotta see that. What's that?
What you see this?
You see this? Is that Merban?
No, that's
No,
Oman.
that's Oman. No, that's interesting. But that was what, yesterday? I don't think the
That's
market's
now.
Yeah, but it's 6 p.m. in Oman. So
Uh,
we'll have to see.
3 days. It's a 3 days.
Okay. Yeah, don't worry, buddy. All oil will be back over $100 a barrel today. Easy. No question. It's only 10:32 in the morning and it's jumped up $6. Let's see if we can break a record for like a $20 jump per barrel or something. People are going to be pissed. People who bet on Trump are definitely going to be pissed off about this. The guy is just unreliable. He's a pathological liar. And the Iranians know how to play it. Fuck it. Everybody take a vacation in Switzerland. All negotiators, let's go up to, um, the Kashmir and have more tea. You think I'm joking? These guys, they know how to play
No,
this
it's just
game.
laughing because it's so true. It's just like I don't know what to say. Like
The problem is, too, I just don't understand it, Watch. Please, somebody explain the psychology of all these people who think Trump is this amazing character who's going to take care of them, who's making good deals for them. None of this is a good deal. None of this shows any any belief in the principles of business. Not a bit of it. All of it
that's
is
just what
like,
happens.
whee, this is fun.
You know,
With
I grew
billions.
up in a cult. And the sad reality is that when you grow up in a cult, the people who are in that cult, they lose their ability to have critical thinking.
That's for sure. Well, that's on the table right now. Boy, oh boy. I mean, everyone's going to suck at it here. Everyone's getting this one. And now this is Iran essentially saying, we don't care if the Western oil industry collapses and Western society takes a hit. We can take it. It's like I was saying this morning, they can take it. Their culture can take it, and they're going to sell their oil. It's just a question of where they're going to sell their oil, how it's going to get transferred, and this is all about making Trump pay as an individual and damaging all of the people who supported his election. Because, of course, one or two people are making boatloads of money now, right? As it rises $6 a barrel, somebody bought this shit at 87 this morning, right?
Yeah.
And they're selling it for 97, or they're going to sell it 97, just below 100, and they're going to make $1 billion. It's happened every week for almost 2 months.
You have the ballistic weapon attacks on Israel. By the way, I'm hearing a feedback loop.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on a speaker. I'm going to turn that off here.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. The there is no Israel ballistic weapon attack is going crazy at the moment. Hezbollah is attacking them and sending a whole bunch of ballistic weapons against Israel right this moment. There's a barrage of rockets and drums
Oh,
going
rockets. Yeah, there's a big difference between ballistic missiles and rockets. This is Hezbollah stings those rockets.
rockets and drones to be precise. Which yeah, I misspoke. I did. Well, what else? Let's see what else. Let's see what. Yeah, no, that's the barrage of attacks.
Okay, we should be good now on audio.
The crude oil just surged 8% to $94 a barrel after the Iranian delegation announced an end to the current negotiation. The negotiations were called off shortly after Netanyahu ordered a strike on Beirut. Um, yeah, I doubt that that's the reason though, but that is just the fact that they made that decision after Netanyahu ordered an attack on Beirut. But I suspect that they were planning on retreating from these negotiations anyway, and it was just it it happened around the time that Netanyahu ordered
All right.
the barrage of attacks on
Give
Iran.
us a recap of how many attacks have happened on Beirut today, if you can.
Um, welcome, Lev. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome to join the speaker if you want.
Who's that?
Lev Parnas is here.
Oh,
How
Lev.
many is back
Lev, I
on?
haven't heard from Lev in a long time, man. He's been focused on that politics. Oh, man.
Isn't he running for office or something?
I thought so. He should come on here and give us his campaign speech. He's in Florida.
Hey, let's give him. As of June 21st, Israel has launched a series of escalation attacks on Lebanon, including 89 strikes on 42 locations across the southern Lebanon, alongside at least 10 intensive airstrikes newly ordered on the southern suburbs of Beirut. Bahia.
Yeah.
Bahia, yeah.
So Iran is now completely tied Israel's behavior in Lebanon to peace and oil in the Strait of Hormuz. Now it's directly tied. Done. Right? For a few days there, we were thinking, man, they're getting away with it. Well, I guess Iran has something to say about that, and that is come home and have a cup of tea.
That's right. Well, not only that, Israel did another significant thing today in southern Lebanon. They took over a medieval castle, a historical medieval castle that has a huge historical importance for the history of Lebanon.
Yeah, that's
That was
that's
used.
Beaufort Castle in Tyre, and
Correct.
it's a Crusader castle. I won't say how, but I've been to its sister castle in Syria, Crac de Chevalier,
And that
and there's another one
castle
in Jordan, Karak.
it holds a huge importance to the Christian community. And this is just like another punch to the Christian community that has been a huge ally for the Israeli government that is now rethinking their alliances with Israel. The more Israel just like does stuff like that, they disrespect these minority communities and they just, marginalize them on so many levels that I don't know, man. They're shooting themselves in the foot. Someone the other day was asking me, it was like, you support Israel. What do you say against, Israel's, you know, crimes against humanity and, whatever they do to rape. And I'm like, I said I'm for two-state solution. I never said I'm for taking away people's rights and abusing them. All I'm saying is there must be some peaceful solution to all of this conflict that doesn't justify Netanyahu's action, killing innocent people or justifying the flotilla interception in international water or whatever. Somehow, if you're having a moderate opinion on the Israeli conflict, you're either a Jew hater or you're like anti-Palestine. There is no middle ground, and I like to find myself to be objective. I like to find myself to blame whoever did a fucked up thing, blame the fucked up thing that they just did. But I don't understand how people could just mix and match everything together.
Yeah, I know. We've taken a lot of flack on our website. Might be the why we've lost a lot of people here in the last couple of weeks. But I always say that I liken myself. I'm the good friend that tells you don't go out and buy cocaine tonight. That's not good for you. The good friend who tells you no, don't spend more than $50 on strippers in the VIP room. All right, go home to your wife. Sometimes your good friend is the person who's going to tell you shit you don't want to hear. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, WTI is almost up $7 now.
And that's in the last 10 minutes. It went up another dollar. Everyone's gunning for that gas, that oil. And since you have restricted flows that are really coming out just out of Fujairah and Yanbu in Saudi Arabia, I mean, Brent North Sea crude, of course, comes out of the North Sea, and WTI is comes out of West Texas. Um, you know, People are going to be scrambling for that oil. I'm afraid to say that Trump is factored in. He doesn't give a fuck what happens to the
Mhm.
oil market. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if this crashes the global economy. He's making his money, right? What does it matter? In his mind, he's changing the entire
I love when how
world.
my battery dies on me in the middle of the show.
Don't do that. It happened to me. Got to keep that bad boy charged up. The world's too dynamic for lost power. I also carry a massive battery. I also carry a massive battery bank with me now. I can recharge my laptop 3 times with this battery bank, like a 30,000 amp battery bank. And Boy, I put that thing on it, I'm never out of power. And I've also learned to go with my tripod. So right now I'm going to my favorite cafe where I'm supposed to be editing my memoir, which is the final copy edited version is due in 2 days. But no, Iran pulls out of peace treaties. The U.S. fights all around the Gulf. And now the Hegseth Netanyahu axis is going to the Lindsey Graham, Pete Hegseth, Benjamin Netanyahu axis is going to go. Now you have to hit them better, stronger. And it's like, bro, we hit them with everything. There ain't jack shit left to do. Hegseth will say, give us those 8 hypersonic missiles. And somebody will say, we only
Like
got 8.
that's gonna do something about it.
Yeah, but we can fire them. They look great. It's like drunks at 4th of July shooting off everything in the backyard barbecue before it gets dark, right? It's like, why are you shooting off these fireworks mid-afternoon? They make loud noise. That's Hegseth at this point. Hegseth. And Lady Lindsey Graham, for Lady Lindsey looking
Oh,
macho, has to be you've got to kill other people and fluff Donald Trump at the same time. I mean,
oh
I
my
hate
God.
this particular world we're living in. This timeline sucks. I think this movie needs to be re-edited.
You know, we should be calling Lindsay Mima Lindsay.
Meemaw. Yeah, well,
Meme, like
by the
a
way,
conservative Mima Lindsay.
I don't know if you noticed, but there's a new Lego video out about him called Ladybug.
No, lady, I need to look it up now.
No, go look it up, but you might will not like what you find. That's the problem
Okay.
here. You're definitely not gonna like this particular iteration. Uh, should I hit the civilian or not? No, I should not. Alright. Wow, man, this is not making my day. I mean, watch, literally moments after do you remember when we got interrupted during my show and I said I should put my phone on do not disturb?
Yeah, I
That was
remember.
Mario calling me to tell me that the peace talks have collapsed.
That makes sense.
I should have answered the phone, but I don't have time for that bullshit. I mean, good God, what worse could happen? Oh, I know what worse could happen. Massive airstrikes and air combat could break out all over the place. And I
Oh my
suspect
God.
by tomorrow morning, I've already scheduled the warcast. It will be there is no peace chat right now.
No more
That's
peace.
where we're at.
Mm.
We are at the there is no peace cast. We're in straight ass warcast tomorrow, starting tomorrow. I bet you that by 4 p.m. this afternoon, which is 2 in the morning Iranian time, we're going to be getting a slew of reports. And my money is on that it will be the Israelis blitzing, blitzing Tehran by tonight. Or Beirut, one or the other. They don't care.
And Iran will do the same thing on the Gulf states right away.
Yeah. Well, they call that horizontal warfare where they go after your allies instead of you, So that's possible. And if anyone's going to get it, it's going to be Kuwait. Kuwait's now in the targets, in the sights for letting the US Army use their bases. And the Iranians sort of like bopping at Kuwait. So it's the way it's going to
Kuwait
be.
and UAE. Kuwait and UAE.
Well, the UAE has a lot more defenses. So I think these the Kuwaitis are now the center of their ire.
That
Hey,
makes sense. That does make
Mickey's is
sense. Let's see back here again. 6.95 here. It's inching 1 second, one cent at a time.
1 cent a
We're
minute
we're
or 10 cents a minute.
yeah, 1 cent at a time is going up. This WTI is gonna, I think, is gonna reach $100 easily within an
Crazy.
hour.
All right. Well, listen, Waj, I'm going to sign off. I just wanted to jump on and talk this news with you. We will
I really
go over this
appreciate it.
tomorrow. with the we're back at Warcast. I'm certain of it. So I'll take care of you guys.
Drive safe and good luck with Mario.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Have a good one. Well, you heard it, guys, from the man himself. The war is no longer at a pause. The ceasefire has ended. Like what I told you, this war has never come to an end. We are in direct conflict with the Iranian people. The attack on Hormuz could happen again. We can expect, in my own opinion, the immediate pause of ships going through the Easy Pass. The oil prices are already shooting um, 6.88 dollars, making the WTI price at 94.24. Immediate jump, huge surprise and a huge shock to the US market. Everyone was hoping that this would be a day where the oil prices would go down. The Trump administration was saying, "Oh, the we are advancing in our peace talks." Every time they do that, and the Israeli government expands, the Iranians feel like they are being pressured. I said it this morning on Malcolm's space that the Iranians are growing thin in their patience, especially that their own people might be getting tired of all of these extra attacks that they're seeing from the Americans. And I didn't think that the Iranians would blink first, and I believe that the Americans would be the ones blinking first. That's why it makes sense for the Iranians to be pulling out of this peace talks at the moment, making it exactly what I have been trying to explain. That the Iranians ain't going to be blinking. And they stepping out of the peace talks proves to the world that they are going full in uh, into this conflict, not fearing the reaction. So, what is going to happen next? You can expect that China, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan immediately jumping on the phone, begging Iran to slow down. You're going to see Gulf states immediately making phone calls to Donald Trump, asking him to put Israel in check. Meanwhile, Israel is going to take advantage of this opportunity to start advancing into Lebanon as of now, because you can imagine that the ceasefire is over. Since the ceasefire is over, why should Israel comply with anything that they weren't complying with to begin with? Um, so, ladies and gentlemen, and all between the binary, we bring you the latest news, the hottest news, and we explain to you what's happening. So while you're at it, destroy that heart button at the bottom. Become a subscriber for the channel. It helps us to go a long way. And if you can consider becoming a paid subscriber, it pays a bill. It makes this content available for everyone so they can stay informed and stay educated and learn about what's happening in the Middle East. So consider becoming a paid subscriber. It's only $5 a month or $35 a year. Very affordable. Even with this hard time, we can make our content available. I invited Lev and I gave him an invitation when he was here. He didn't accept it. And I messaged him as well. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable talking on my podcast. He's welcome to come anytime. He's welcome to come anytime, and I have sent him the invitation. Hi, Wajeeh. Hope you had a lovely Sunday. I had a good Sunday. Took a small hike under the rain. That was nice. In the middle of a forest. Ooh, so good. Um, American who built the surveillance state, Kita Teal, just bought an escape hatch in Argentina. All the billionaires are buying escape hatches at the moment, and they're hiring people from the Navy SEAL and stuff to escort them. That's a different conversation. You know what these rich people don't understand is they go to people who are in the Green Beret and Navy SEALs and Delta Forces, and they pay them a lot of money to escort them out, right? But if push comes to shove, right, and you're escorting them out, and they're the ones with the guns, why should they keep you if you're the billionaire? You bought the facility, you you paid them, they will escort you and keep you out, and they can go inside the safe house. Things that rich people are thinking about that you don't think about, huh? That's they sit down and they talk to themselves, well, what happened when I hire a Navy SEAL and shit push comes to shove and I had to get exhorted. And this Navy SEAL goes in there by the end of the day and keeps me out of the safe house and I'm the one inside the and they're the ones inside the safe house. They talk about this stuff all the time. One day they'll pay like for Wajeeh, it's like Wajeeh, we need you to have a conference about the Middle East future and security. And then I would show up, and instead of a full conference and what I would meet is maybe 2 or 3 billionaires, then they would just be grilling me with questions. Where's the safest place if a nuclear attack happens? Where do I go if I need to? Where do I put my money? Those are the type of questions they would be grilling me on. And the way they would grab me over is by telling me, "Oh, we have a conference we need you to speak at." They do stupid shit like that. Fox is reporting that President Pezeshkian submitted his resignation, citing an inability to govern. I'll wait to hear this news from AP, Associated Press, and then I will confirm it. As long as it's still from Fox News, in my own opinion, it can be an opinion. A gentle correction: an A10 is a twin engine around a tax jet, sometimes called Rathmore. Uh, A-lot or larger for engine. Speed. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the one with the plate is the AWACS. I just didn't know what is the actual. I forgot the actual name for it. I will need to watch on restream today, but I am wondering your thoughts on the resilience of the average Iranian civilian. They have a huge resiliency. They're very strong people. They're very capable. They're very educated, um, and they're very hardworking. They have been going through a lot of economic pressure through the last 40 years, and they know how to navigate stuff like that. It's just the government is also does a lot of work on sensing the public temperature, and they try to manage it as much as they can. Oh, of course, they were just talking about Jared Kushner building an apartment in Tehran. That's all they can think about. Anyways, I think we have reached an end to the space. I'll wait for you guys to write another question or two. How am I doing? I'm a little sore. Yeah, yeah. Almost reached 400 viewers today. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. I appreciate you. How do I think this will play out? There will be skirmishes, like Trump liked to say, a skirmish, a little skirmish. How did he pronounce it? A skirmish? Yeah. I strongly recommend if you haven't had a chance to read my latest two articles. I did a translation of an opinion piece from an Omani article, an opinion from the government of Oman or the Omani uh, people. And another article I wrote before that, which is the more important one about the Bill 224 that is intending Section 224 with forgot the House bill number, but that is attempting to merge the Israeli and American military together, eroding your sovereign decision making when it comes to when it comes to military attacks, and erasing the oversight that happens by the congressional committees and denying any investigation from congressional committees into the Israeli American military apparatus infrastructure apparatus. And then you have uh, you know making taking advantage of the black hole that exists in the uh, Pentagon, where we spend all of the money. It's your money. Now it's gonna be way higher spending. Very important for you to read. Very important for you to share with your friends. Not as many people have seen it. I will share it again, but I strongly recommend that you take a look at them, especially if you want to stay informed and up to date to what's happening. This is one of those articles that you have to read in order to believe what I'm saying. This shit, you can't make this shit up. You literally can't make this shit up. Uh, Do you think we have already blended IDF with our military? To some extent, yes, but not to the extent that this House bill is recommending. This is just on a different level, and you need to read the article to understand how bad it is. New subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. By the way, happy Pride Month, starting tomorrow. Happy Pride Month. Whether you like it or not. I'll wait for a few more questions. Well, listen, if you don't do something by the midterm, you might be calling your president father tomorrow. I'm just saying. That's just what happens in dictatorship. You call your dictator, daddy, like what NATO's doing to Trump. The head of NATO, he called Daddy Trump. When in Saudi Arabia, we call the king Baba Salman. Baba means father. Before him, King Abdullah, we used to call him Baba Abdullah. Before him, King Fahad, Baba Fahad. They call him a fatherly figure under dictatorships. He's our fatherly figure. Every father should admire to be like him. Pride Month may be subdued due to surveillance. Maybe. Happy Pride Month again. Yes, Happy Pride Month. Maybe we'll change the colors to Pride colors here for you guys. Yeah. See. Dear God, please, no Baba. Dear God, please, no Baba. What can American do to help with ending this conflict? Um, Honestly, make sure that you put all the pressure that you can on your legislators at the moment. Make sure that you make sure that um yeah, make sure that this midterm election you win as many people as possible from the other side to your side, convincing other people that this government doesn't care about them, that they're not draining the swamps, that this is the deep state that they have been fearing, that human trafficking existed under those people that promised to release the Epstein documents. Use the same language that they're using. Talk to them the same issues that they believe in. Do not deny things that has happened, but they have used different titles on. Do not deny the fact that human trafficking doesn't exist because it exists. They might have wrong people names associated with it, but that's not your issue right now. Your issue right now is to end the 1% control over our economy, to end the 1% control over our politics, to make sure that we are a united political governments that have been willing to work on partisanship rather than creating this polarization in our voting block. I say it all the time. You're not beating, you, if you really want to win as a country, you always try to find a 1-1 situation. And as if we continue to think of this as winners take all, and if Democrats win, all the Republicans should take a big loss and lose their, prosperity. You're never going to win as a society. You're not going to win economically. You're not going to win socially. You're not going to win culturally. It's just not going to happen because you view each other as enemies rather than you know, comrades in a country that you are all working together to improve this homeland that you come from or this new country that you came to. We have a huge shift of wealth, yes, and the word keep doesn't hasn't been going away. The rich keeps getting richer, and the poor keeps getting poorer. And, if we focus on anything other than economy, if we focus on the culture war, we will lose this election. If we focus on anything other than the economy and ending the war and draining the swamps, we're going to lose this election, whether it's the midterm election or the election that comes after that. Convince the other side that you're not the enemy. That's your mission. That's how you win. That's how you end the war. Because if the other side has any fears that you will put danger on their lifestyle or danger on their income or danger on their who they are, why would they move to your side? Have a conversation on an emotional level rather than a rational level. Anytime you are talking to people inside a cult, you're talking to people who do not have full capability of critical thinking because cults systematically breaks people's ability to have critical thoughts. So anytime you go to someone that is in a cult and you start throwing facts at them thinking that you're having some mic drops in the middle of the conversation, you're looking like a total stupid person to them. You look like a fool to someone who is in the middle of a cult. You're basically telling them like everything that they have believed in is false, that all they do is evil. They're not gonna look at you like you're someone that is gonna try to better their life. They're gonna look at you as someone that's gonna try to take something away from them. That's just how cults work. Remember that incident, you know, of the in Texas, Waco, I think it's called Texas Waco, when there was this church group that is in a cult, and we tried to end that cult by force, and we brought a whole bunch of military personnel and tanks, and ended up killing everyone that was in there instead of helping saving the people. We didn't treat the people in there like they're in cults. We treated them like they're criminals. That just that made it everyone that came that way an enemy. You think that could have turned out differently if we sent missionaries over or if we sent other religious leaders to create dialogue, or if we bought up the surrounding areas and created governmental infrastructure so they can interact with the rest of the people. Sometimes we just want to go to the easiest solution because that's what we were told the answer was. But we have a complicated problem, and your simple solutions are only going to make the complicated problem a more complicated issue. Anytime you have a complicated equation, your mathematical teacher will tell you you have to work with a complicated equation to fix that. Algebra, calculus, it doesn't matter what it is. Politics, simplifying a problem and coming with a more simpler solution a lot of times causes more problems. So rethink the issues that we have, look at the cause, understand that it's top versus bottom because the top 1% doesn't care about your ideology. All they care about is the political polarization and the focus of Americans, or it's not even just in America, it's everywhere that I've been to. The focus is how do we make sure the people at the bottom fight each other for every single piece of scrap that's left for them. Meanwhile, we're up there eating caviar, which caviar, by the way, if you ever tried it, it, it tastes like salt. So a lot of times if people add it to food instead of salt to add another layer of flavor, but you're just paying so much stupid goddamn money. It used to be poor people's food, but somehow we turned it into more expensive, only rich people food. And people only use it just so they could say, oh, I have tried something very expensive. Top versus bottom. It's top versus bottom. People try to convince you to fall into, a lot of stupid other stuff, but we won't get into the economic ideology and the fighting each other over scraps. But billionaires are sitting down and having the best time of their life, and you're barely struggling to figure out how to put food on the table. That's exactly what they want you to do. You know why? Because the first thing you will do in that situation is you'll go like this, and you'll look around you, and you go like, that motherfucker and that people like him is the reason we have a fucked up country. That's the first thing you will do. Or because you're in a very bad mood, someone cuts you off in the middle of the street and your immediate idea, these fuckers. Well, it's like, doesn't matter what race, it doesn't matter what color, it doesn't matter what group. You're just trying to blame it on somebody right away. Right away. That's how you're mentally trained. You go in the car, you'll immediately have some road rage. And you blame it on the first person it is. Oh, these goddamn women. Or these stupid goddamn men. Or these people of color. Or this uh, redneck. Immediately, your first reaction is try to blame it on someone else because you're in such a bad mood. You are trying to have some sort of escape. It's the easiest thing is to do some polarization and throw it on the other side rather than understand that there is a systematic oppression. This is why I have so much economic stress on me. This is so much why I'm having I'm feeling betrayed by my phone company. This is why I'm feeling betrayed by my insurance company. This is why I'm feeling betrayed by my energy company. This is why I'm feeling betrayed by my internet company. Everything. You just start gonna blame it on anyone, first one that comes your way. That's what the 1% wants you to do. Exactly what the 1% wants you to do. And soon as you realize the ones are putting these blocks in front of you, these hurdles that you have to jump across are the 1%, is the corporate greed, and is not the person that's right in front of you that has nothing to do with what you just experienced. Is the sooner you realize that the person that's in front of you is also struggling just like you, and you should both work together, ending this corporate greed and ending this 1% corruption and demanding that we at least get to back being at the top 10 most capitalistic countries because we're not even at the top 10 most capitalistic countries. Is that surprising for you to hear that you don't make it to the top 10 most capitalistic countries? Yes, that's why it's so hard for you to compete in the US economy. We have an oligopoly. Let's see. I think that's all the questions for today. And keep an eye on the news. I think the prices of oil are still coming up. Let me check last time before we end this live stream. While you're here, I hope you destroyed this heart button at the bottom right. And I hope you considered becoming a free subscriber. And if you haven't become a free subscriber, how dare you? I'm so nice. I'm so cool. I'm just joking. Um, and while you're at it, I hope you can consider becoming a paid member. Becoming a paid member makes this content available for everyone and allows me to do this full time so you guys don't have to do it full time. And it basically provides an education that a lot of people need. So if you like this type of information, if you think it's important, please consider becoming a paid subscriber. It's only $5 a month or $35 a year. It's very affordable for a reason. And the oil prices for the WTI is up $6.75, making it $94.14. The Brent crude is up $6, and Merbon crude is also $6.73. So oil prices are going up. Indication that the war might be absolutely over. Um, I would just keep an eye on statements from China, Iran, Pakistan, Gulf states, and Israel and the United States. As I like to say, thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching a recording. That's fine. Make sure you join in the conversation, write your comment, click likes, and click on that bell icon so you could receive the latest notification. All of that helps way more than you think. If you can't become a paid subscriber, doing those actions, especially on YouTube, brings us a lot of funding, it brings us a lot of support, and it funds our operation. So go to my YouTube channel, subscribe over there. We're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers on Substack and YouTube. So please help us reach that number. It's a huge milestone to reach, and it's been an amazing journey doing this work with you guys. Um, oh yeah, regarding my opinion on Israel, when I say I'm Israel supporter, what I mean is I'm a supporter of the existence of both the Israelis and Palestinians in one space. It doesn't mean that I support the Israeli operations or the Israeli politics. That's two different things. Um, I think there is a lot of space for growth. There's a lot of space for ending violence. Whatever Israeli government at the moment is doing is some of the worst I've seen out of humanity. We talked about the Israeli ethnic cleansing with Piotr on the space. We talked about um, w- if that also falls under the possibility of genocide. So, no, we take the Palestinian issue very seriously. We take human violations very seriously, but we also like to be um, objective, and we like to be serious. Israeli government is making a lot of crimes. So is the American government is making a lot of crimes inside the United States. So is the Saudi government that has been killing on average 200 people to 300 people a year. I have witnessed my first public execution in Saudi Arabia at the age of 10. I witnessed three men and one woman get executed right out of I was walking outside a mosque. So when you're talking about human violations and when you're talking about no respect to the human life, that exists almost everywhere. And being objective about it and not losing your mind in the emotions that comes with the whole thing makes you a more responsible human rights advocate that can bring in more change. The cancel culture is not leading us to anywhere. We tried it for a few years. Did it work with you? It did not. It didn't result with anything other than the people that we depended on as community leaders all of a sudden were gone. Best example, Ellen DeGeneres. She did a horrible mistake. She treated her workers horribly. Did we send her to for rehabilitation to learn how what it means to have power, how to treat your workers? Did we? No, we canceled the fuck out of her and kicked her out of the USA and sent her back to not back to sent her to Australia. And that was someone doing giveaways on a regular basis, daily basis, trying to improve people's lives, paying off their debts, giving them cars, giving them houses. Like, what do you want from people? We She left because we kicked her out. She left the country because we didn't leave her any place in this country. We took away her job. We took away her only way of living instead of telling her that we know you're a good person. We just saw you making a mistake. We believe that you can do better. Can we help you make a better decision? Can we help you fix your mistakes? Instead of just taking it away, she was a force of good, bridging gaps between people. So that's the type of mentality. It's uncomfortable. It's not easy. The easy thing is to cancel. The easy thing is to kick out. The easy thing is to end relationship. Is that the smart thing to do? That's the question. Again, it's all about the decision. Are we looking for an easy, or are we looking for like result? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, everyone. Again, uh, all I'm encouraging is you to think of the outside of the box that we're taught to think inside of. All I'm encouraging you to do is maybe if we consider different solutions, we would have had different outcomes. And what we need is a different type of solution regarding the Israeli Palestinian issue. And again, one side wins all doesn't work, not in US politics and not in Israeli Palestinian issue either. Both sides need to feel a win. Both sides need to be on the same page. This is not going to be solved with a simple solution. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. And I'd like to say, ma salama, bye bye, وبالإنجليزي goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow.